Okay, y'all. This is Celebrity Call a Chill on BET Season 2. This is episode 7. And this is all about Jocelyn and Amber going to the disciplinary board.
All right, y'all. What do y'all think? Do you all think that she should not be reprimanded or she should be reprimanded for popping off on Jocelyn? Do you think that... Because honestly, I think that if she would have just egged Jocelyn on some more, Jocelyn would have went off more, and Jocelyn would probably have gotten put out just easy, and Amber never would have had to lift a finger, and Amber would have still been in school. So let's check this out.
Look, it's not a good day for us right now. We all still trying to process what happened with Amber and Jocelyn. That's just bound to happen, you know. People, they have a tipping point.
Ray J seems to be taking this pretty hard.
Jocelyn and Amber both have to go in front of the ASU disciplinary board. I'll be grinding all day, sun up to sundown.
Hey, Dr. Holly, how are you? How are you? Thanks for this meeting. I appreciate it. I'm a little nervous to talk to Dr. Petty because...
Another thing, she walking in with a smile on her face like this is all a big joke. She don't even look remorseful. Amber, you supposed to walk in like, you know, be looking down like you just don't know if you about to get put out of school or not. You just too happy.
HBCU in the birthplace of the civil rights movement.
Okay.
On this campus, a safe space where conversations can take place as it relates to gender disparities, racial inequalities. Right. These classrooms are safe spaces for our students to be able to have healthy dialogue and to be able to agree to disagree in an amicable way.
Yes. Yes.
So I just want to hear from you and get what happened. Well, first and foremost, I'm going to apologize for my behavior.
Thank you.
I really love being here. I take full accountability. But Jocelyn has been bullying not only me, but other people in the house since we got there. In yesterday's situation, the teacher asked me what my racial mountain was. And I said, sometimes I don't fit in white spaces, but I don't necessarily fit in black spaces either. Jocelyn turned around and she started screaming and saying, no, you know what? You just want to be a white girl.
You know what's your problem? Your problem is that you really want to be a white girl.
That's your problem. You just want to be white. And I had to remove myself and walk past her. She was bullying me.
There she go. Quiet, baby.
I felt intimidated. This is what I've been going through as a mixed person my whole life. So when I saw her face, I blacked out. In hindsight, yes, I can look back and be like, that looked crazy. Like, that's not anything I would ever do on a normal day. I don't want my kids to see me like that. I don't want to be disrespectful to the university. But the circumstances of her talking over me or telling me who I am as a person just became all too much in that moment. I hear you. I hear that a trigger went off. And you said it yourself. You just blacked out. When I first met you all, I expressed to you that Alabama State University is an institution, an HBCU of excellence. These are sacred, hallowed crowns. I supported you on your journey to success. I support you and I care about you, but I must uphold the integrity of this university. Because this is to send a message, not only to you, students to come, students are here. We will not tolerate this behavior. And it doesn't mean I don't care about you. It just means at this time, you will not be able to move forward as a student here at Alabama State University.
Wow.
So y'all expected me to get hit first. Jocelyn did not hit you. After she was being racist towards me, and I'm not supposed to defend myself. We were in a classroom environment. That is just not something that we will ever support on this campus.
Yeah.
I understand where you guys are coming from, and I know the rules. But I feel like it's really unfair. But that's fine.
Whew.
I feel like it's an injustice. I am completely frustrated with Dr. Petty. Violence is violence. Violence is violence. It's unfortunate, and I wish her all the best. I just felt like it was unfair. I was kind of just thrown away, and Dr. Petty should have understood where I was coming from.
Okay. A couple things. That's what I talked about in the last video. Please go back and check out the last video, part 2 of 6, episode 6. Basically, Amber, at the end of the day, it was just the wrong place, and you just never should have put your hands on her. You should have handled it a different way, Amber. Period, point blank. And I think that, and then you lied, Amber. You said she hit you first. You just sat there and lied, Amber. Jocelyn done went off and went on a slapping spree. She just beat Big Lex down in the middle of a boxing event, or at the end of the boxing event, whenever it was, and just went on a slapping spree, slapping men, women, children, old ladies, anybody who was coming in her way. I'm lying, it wasn't children and old lady, but it was men and women. She went on a slapping spree. So, and the thing is, Jocelyn is known for doing that. She was smart enough to not rush you in school. The role that you're playing right now, I totally agree with Dr. Petty. They do have to make an example out of her. They do not even make an example out of her. They have to make an example for the other students specifically. You cannot come on this, because as soon as another student would have seen that and they let her get by, they would have thought it was okay to come and fight in class on campus. And it's not okay. They have to, and she's right, that goes for the students that are there now. That goes for the students that have been put out. Do you know that there are real students that have been put out, Amber, of school? And their career, their academic career was ruined because they fought on campus. Not even in the classroom, but on campus, in their own dorm room. I have family members. I have a family member specifically who was attacked, and she got put out of school. Okay, Amber? So this is not a joke thing. Like she said, that was a sacred place. That school is a sacred place. You should be honored. You should be having reverence and respect. And basically, Amber, you have no reverence or respect for where you were. I mean, Jocelyn is a wild dog. You hear me? But at the same time, she had sense enough to basically act right. You got to give it to her on this one. As messed up as her mouth is, as much fucked up shit she say, you have to give her this one. So I'm rambling, but let's get back.
Call Ray J.
What's up, Andy?
What up?
What's up? You coming back?
I literally just got out and they were like, I'm sorry, but you can't come back to ASU.
Don't do that. Are you bullshitting?
No.
No, it's over. But I
They
would like to
putting her
come back
out.
and help you guys, I done put in all this time, and it's like the home stretch, and then all this stuff happened. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I'm just upset.
Going in to see Miss Betty, I'm coming to speak my piece and let them know I feel like it's messed up. The fact that I know I might get penalized for defending myself.
Jocelyn walked in crying. You hear me? That's how you supposed to do it.
Introduced to you.
She walked in crying. You don't walk in smiling, bitch.
Jocelyn, you have been doing very well in your courses. When I talk to all of your faculty members, they've been complimentary of you. And Jocelyn, this is a safe space for people to be able to share how they feel and what they feel. Yesterday I had like one of the best times in class because we was getting into a debate and I'm like, okay, was Amber singling me out so much? It seems to me like you're not happy that you're black because she's half black. And so she got upset. But she left the class twice, and the second time she left, she jumped on me. She broke 3 of my nails. She scratched my face up. I was just gonna sit there and let her do that to me. She attacked me. So why wasn't I in school today? It's what I don't understand.
That's right, Jocelyn. That's right, Jocelyn. Oh, she got me ready to cry with her.
I want to go back to the very first day of class when I gave you all the course syllabus, and I said that this is a contract.
Got my stomach hurting,
And I
y'all.
talked about what was zero tolerance. Do you remember that? Conduct yourself with the
We remember. Goddamn, Miss Petty. Dr. Petty. Come on, man.
It's zero tolerance. Dr. Trumbull said.
Excuse me,
You
Dr.
went
Petty.
too far as it relates to telling Amber you just want to be this. That really wasn't your place. But that again is freedom of speech. But Jocelyn, when you are offensive
Yeah.
to other people and you say things that just cuts to the core. But why other people? I don't understand why would that cut anyone to the core. You know how many people say to me, Jocelyn, you don't want to be Hispanic, you don't want to be Puerto Rican. I say it's not that. It's just that my skin is black. So when I speak to people, I say I'm a black woman that speaks Spanish, but I never say that I'm Hispanic. And you know how many people come at me about that? But Jocelyn, listen to me. Just calm down and take a deep breath. Being born in Puerto Rico is like, you black. But then when you come to America, you're Spanish. It's like, what am I? So I always just went what my heart told me, which my heart told me that I was black.
I feel like Jocelyn was projecting in that moment what people do to her. That's what she was doing to Amber right then and there. You hear her say it over and over. People say this to me all the time. And that's even what she was saying in class. And I think for Jocelyn, because she felt that she has freedom of speech, sometimes she does not understand the difference between being disrespectful and just having the freedom of speech. That's what I think, because people probably has talked to her so harshly or so nasty. She thinks that's normal behavior. She thinks it's normal behavior to be catty. She thinks it's normal behavior to get under people's skin and do little things to people. I'm not giving her an excuse, because what she did was not right. But I do agree with Jocelyn. I do agree with her. Yes, she went too far. Dr. Petty is saying, well, did you even hear Dr. Trimble continuing to call your name? Like, basically, she's saying Dr. Trimble tried to diffuse the situation and Jocelyn wasn't hearing it.
The Trimble continuing to call your name.
I heard everybody. She wasn't just calling my name. She was calling Amber too. The whole class was calling me and her.
Do you not understand that that was disrupting the learning environment?
Yes. Yes.
I just don't understand what's such a big deal about me saying what I said.
Derogatory language is not welcome here.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
just not fair. She attacked me, and if I get penalized for that, it's not right.
We just can't tolerate it.
We can't. And when we say zero tolerance, that's for everyone across the board. The university's policies have been violated. So, Jocelyn, you will not be able to move forward as a student here at Alabama State University.
Why am I being penalized? I got hundreds in all my classes. I got the paper on me, studying every day. I'm still studying my stuff. I participate in the classroom. You could ask all my professors.
Wow.
I care about being in the school. I defended myself when she attacked me. And I'm getting penalized for that. That's wrong, Miss Betty. That's wrong. It's wrong for y'all doing that to me.
Okay. I understand 100% what Dr. Petty is saying. You had a chance to shut your fucking mouth, Jocelyn. You had a chance to shut the fuck up, and you do that shit every fucking time. And you go and you blaming everybody else for your behavior. Jocelyn, you was wrong as shit for the way you carried that shit. You just don't understand the difference, or you don't use your fucking filter, Jocelyn, and you can't carry that behavior everywhere. Like, sometimes it's a time and place for everything, and this just wasn't the time and place for that. She is absolutely correct. Like, you can't be in there just saying anything you want to say either. You cannot just say what you want to say either, Jocelyn. So, yeah, she went too far, but you damn sure escalated the fuck out. And I said it before, you threw fire. You threw gas right on the fucking fire. You threw gas on the fire. You threw a fucking bomb in the fire, Jocelyn. And Amber just finished it off. And unfortunately for Amber, it was the wrong place, wrong time. Like, I really wish she would have handled that somewhere else. I really wish she would at least, like, done it at home. This is very unfortunate. They are not playing at ASU. Listen, don't take your ass down to ASU playing games with them and thinking that they for joke time, because they're not. They are a university of they are a university of excellence, okay? And they will not tolerate people coming down here fighting. They just not gonna tolerate it. Let's go.
The attack was real, and she should have never did that. I didn't do anything wrong. All I was doing was defending myself.
Yeah, you did something wrong, Jocelyn.
What's up, Amby?
Oh my gosh, no, I'm gonna
Do our mom be doing his own hair?
Dark cloud hanging over this whole house right now. I cried already. Just fucking sex.
I tried, y'all. When I talked to Dr. Petty, I knew what it was gonna be.
Why are you
Most
mad?
people deal with that shit so much. It's not fucking fair. And like for Dr. Petty to just not understand this.
Pause. They both think that Dr. Petty don't understand. I think more than anything, Dr. Petty do want them to be there as much as they want to be there. But she has to go with the rules, and she has to make an example for other students. And she has to, they have to do what they have to do. So she's just a mouthpiece, honestly, too. Like, it's a whole university. It's a whole board of people. It's hierarchies of people that made this decision. And at the end of the day, Jocelyn Hernandez, Amber Rose, they are not bigger than the morals and the beliefs of that university. So y'all can't blame Dr. Petty at all and think that it's just her wanting to not be there for you, Jocelyn, or not understanding you, Amber. I believe she does understand. But at the end of the day, if another professor, her colleague, was to tell her something that she didn't want to hear, that cut her deepest, darkest thing, she probably would never go off and just start fighting them at work, because then she could lose everything. So we have to think about those things. Like I said, and I'm gonna stand by it. Wrong place, wrong time. But if you want to do your dirt, you need to do your dirt where it can't be, where there's no proof. How about that? Or fight them a different way. Use your mind and figure out a different way to get back at that person. We don't always have to use hands and violence and guns and stuff like that, because you can't take that back. You can't take that back. So, and I've given my opinion a couple times, but at the same time, like, I can understand where Amber's coming from. I can understand where Jocelyn's coming from. I can agree with both of them, and I can also disagree with different elements.
I walked in here thinking I was going to get valedictorian.
I did too, Amber.
Now, I can't believe that I won't be able to finish out.
I knew you was going to get valedictorian. They could at least gave us your midterm grades.
Yeah, let's gather up and go to the field trip.
So So today, we're taking a field trip for our civil rights history class. And it really sucks to leave Amber alone at a moment like this, but we really can't miss school today.
All right, Ray, they look focused.
But I wanted you to come here because the Freedom Riders, that story sort of takes place partly in this house.
The Freedom Riders? Oh yeah, this is lit. The Freedom Riders were black and white people who came from all over down to the South on buses to protest against segregation.
When the Freedom Riders came to Montgomery and they were descended upon by a mob downtown at the Greyhound bus station, they dispersed throughout town and they collected here. So they met here and planned what to do next. Valda Harris, she's now Dr. Montgomery, she lived in the house. 2 doors down is where Martin Luther King lived. Their families were close. It's no coincidence that Martin Luther King's parsonage was a couple of doors down.
Pulling up to the Harris house, I didn't really understand how powerful the whole block was. I had no clue that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stayed 2 doors down.
Oh, I love it here.
Just grab a seat.
My grandfather was a part of the civil rights movement. He used to drive his school bus, and they marched with Dr. King. So to be in the place where a lot of this stuff happened, like, you couldn't have picked a better spot to feel the history of our people.
Welcome to the Harris house. Well, most of the time, and in many books, when they tell the story of the Freedom Riders, the leg in Montgomery, they will say they were at the church and attacked. The next thing you know, they're on a bus and they've gone to Jackson. But they were in Montgomery for 3 to 4 days. Where were they? Right here. This is where they were. So you're sitting on those same stools that the leaders of the Freedom Rides sat on and the leaders of the Montgomery bus boycott sat on. Wow. You're in the same space that they were in.
To be in the houses they were in, see where they had meetings, and it's almost like you could still feel them there. I didn't anticipate getting to be around something like that and experience something like that. And it all happened here.
My mom and dad provided a space for you to eat, for you to sleep, for you to take a bath, for you to get your clothes washed, for you to have a little fun. You know what I'm saying? For you to strategize, re-energize, all of the above. So from the time I'm 8 years old until I'm in college, this is all that I know. And I've seen firsthand what things were like. It makes me really proud of my parents.
Yeah.
These are the kind of sacrifices that people made for your rights, for your civil rights.
What was the last experience that you had with Martin Luther King before he passed, like, that you remember?
On just a friendly basis, he was always in the neighborhood, either getting his hair cut or shooting pool. And whenever he would go on trips, he'd come back, he'd call us down, and we'd look at slides.
Dr. Martin Luther King was in this very home multiple times throughout his life. To be here with my roommates, like, there's no better feeling.
A great change is had. And our path is to make that revolution, that change.
In 1963, which was a horrific year for black people, especially here in Alabama. You've got the marches in Birmingham, in Montgomery as well. We had our booklet that was written by Martin Luther King of things to do. It's a training. So by no means do you think that you just wake up and decide, I think I'll be nonviolent today. No, this was a training. Martin Luther King is killed on April 4th of 1968, my junior year. This man I've known since I was 6 years old. That's like an uncle to me. I had had enough. It just broke. We started making Molotov cocktails, and we wanted to see anybody who's white that's coming by, because we can really do this. That's the day that I felt hate in my heart. For me, all I know is the nonviolent way. Luckily, we didn't do any harm. But that feeling is something that I never want to ever remember or feel again. I don't make an excuse for it. I don't condone it, but I understand it.
We should have been here at the Harris house 2 days before this fight happened, so Jocelyn and Amber could get some of this education. This is powerful. And we're just blessed to be here.
Amen.
I don't have any commentary for that. I'm going to just let that breathe.
Here, Tiff, this one's for you. No. Yeah, have it. Just take it. I want you and Quay to have a piece of me when I'm born.
You don't have to do that.
Girl, stop. I have a million of these. Please, take it.
You serious?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You look good in red.
Thank you, baby.
She gave her one of those Versace robes. She said she wanted her and Quay to have a piece of her.
Because it's not fair. Come on, Quay. Come on, we gotta spend time with her. I know it's hard. We hate it. The only reason why I'm getting through it because I'm drunk.
I cannot believe this shit is happening.
I know.
You know, this is probably one of the worst days for me.
I really wanted to come to College Hill because I wanted people to get to know me, like the real Amber Rose. This has been more than just an education. At the end of the day, it's been a really amazing time. Love you, Ray. I was so proud of Amber for sticking up for herself. I understood her pain. I understood it all.
A&B, we love you.
Love you guys.
Back on the West Coast.
Definitely. Graduate.
I'ma try.
Uh-oh.
Yo, whoa.
Amber might be coming back for season 3, y'all. If any university have they
I had to make an announcement.
reality TV getaway.
Shit. Jocelyn just got expelled too. Wait, what? Damn.
The thing is, nobody act like they gave a fuck about Jocelyn before this moment too much. But
Turn up energy.
Omarion, Ray J, Amon.
Amber and how this whole fight thing went about.
I don't feel it's right that Jocelyn was hit or attacked.
Thank
at
you,
the same
Clay.
time.
Thank
I
you,
felt
Clay.
like she was really, really, really pushing Amber.
You
Condoning violence, but I just feel like when you're talking out the side of your mouth, when you're talking reckless, you should expect any fucking thing.
right, but not in school. Parker, no.
Quieter with Jocelyn gone.
Tiffany, what you did, it'll be loud enough,
I'm
boo.
gonna
Don't worry
get
about
with her
that.
and see if she at least come to the house and really say goodbye the right way. You know what I'm saying? Meeting the journey.
She gonna be alright, man. We gonna miss you though, Jocelyn.
That's sad, y'all.
Wait, are you gonna like run the water already or no?
No, we're gonna do that together when he's undressing. There's been a
Here
lot
comes
of
Tiffany. This is
stress
not
all
cute.
of us.
This is not cute, Tiffany. I'm sorry. You just look desperate.
For the past week,
Like the
O'Brien
desperate
and
old
Jocelyn
man
have
who,
been
like,
crazy.
is creepy and running behind the young girls. That's what you look like. Ugh, you just look creepy. I don't like that, New York.
Like a man looks at
I don't like when women throw themselves at men.
like he gets what he asks.
I don't like that. If you wouldn't be so pressed, he might would try to give you a little something. But Tiff, I'm sorry, I don't think you the right complexion for him because you.
I've always had the fantasy of saying, your royal penis is clean, your highness. But what happens up here stays up here.
For sure.
Tell the others
Me,
about
you, and
the
Willison, that's the only people that know.
period.
And this is all scripted because that woman got a man at home.
Move the dust.
This is scripted.
Just for tonight.
I got bubble baths going and some rose petals so he can feel special. I just want to make his eyes big.
You want me with me?
His eyes.
First of all, I was not expecting this tonight.
Okay, this is the bubbles here.
She catered to me because she's seen a king. When a queen sees a king,
Now you ain't had no bath water ran for you? Oh, Mario. Ooh, I'll run some bath water now. I definitely will run some bath water.
I got you.
And they go, Quay, leave.
I'm just gonna let them do what they do.
Bye. Ooh, they close the door.
They told me to oil up his body.
Quay, leave.
it's the titty code. I mean, they have been flirting with each other, and I think Orion.
I don't think he want her like that.
On Tiff. You mean Big Town?
It's just a
Men will hit anything, and Tiffany look good enough to hit. I ain't gonna lie, she look real cute today too.
Well, I'm trying to find out.
Everybody has needs.
Did he send her out there while he was taking a bath? Oh, she went back in there.
Mind your business. Just finish your work.
Leave the room. There's so many other.
The thing that's really nice about it is it does look like a ripe banana. That's the fucking bubble bath.
Not bad for him, or good for him.
Well, you're gonna sleep like a baby tonight. I've inspected it, so it's definitely clean.
That was bull. I don't think anything happened. I really don't.
Princess from Puerto Rico. I can't say you.
Or-
Bitches don't kick me out of school.
I mean, honestly, like for you not to be graduating with us is
That's fucked up.
where it hurts. So you don't feel bad at all about anything,
Absolutely not. We're in class and I have freedom of speech. I don't feel bad about nothing I said.
but you're pushing her to limits. What that didn't matter.
Here's the thing. I didn't go after her.
I'm proud of the journey that you on. It sucks that what happened, but I know that you would do good in anything. So you stay on your path of getting educated and continuing to push yourself past the limit. You come back to the house. You know what I'm saying? So chill out. Iman over there. I'm over there.
You know what? Actually, I wasn't really looking forward to saying goodbye to my roommates, but talking to Ray made me feel like maybe I should go say goodbye to my roommates, because really, at the end of the day, they didn't do anything to me. Papa goodbye.
A proper goodbye.
I'm done with a Papa goodbye. Why not?
So that's the end of episode number 7, part 1. Part 2 is coming up very soon. Thank you so much for all of the new subscribers. I'm going to shout a couple of you all out in the next video. I've been taking screenshots, so we're not there yet, but let's get up to 1,000 subscribers so that I can start going live with you guys. And we have lost 2 of the 8. Let's see who is in the running to be valedictorian. Right now it's looking like Parker. Parker is sitting back in the cut and getting everything done and being a great student. So let's see what happens in the next episode. Let's see what happens when Jocelyn goes back to give her proper goodbye. I will see you all on episode 7.